What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I made my new song, Things You Do, with Wess Scott. So let's get into it. Okay, so quick story on how this came about. Pretty much I was at my community college and I was in the Commons and I made this really basic house beat. Didn't think much of it. And then I came to the studio with Wes and I played it for him and he was like, "What is that? That's so sick." And I was like, I don't know. It's just a basic house beat I made. But he really liked it, so he literally picked up the mic and did like one take over the whole thing and recorded all the vocals in like 15 minutes. And I was so inspired by his ideas on it that I ended up finishing the track really easily, and it just happened like that. So I'm going to show you all the elements I added here. Okay, so the first thing I have here is a preset from Addictive Keys called Ping Pong Mallet. For effects on it, I literally have, let's see, some kickstart, some EQ, some saturation, some reverb, and yeah, so it sounds like this. So after I was done with that, I layered it with another instance of Addictive Keys with a different preset called Miles Away, and it has the same effects on it. It sounds like this by itself. Whew. Really cool. I love that melody. And then I added another layer on top of that, and it's from Serum, and this also has the same effects on it as well. That sounds like this. The only difference between this and the piano ones is there's this extra note on top here, and it's very low velocity, and it just hits, and it just has a little bit of flavor to it because there's 3 layers of the same thing, so that definitely adds a lot. So altogether, those three sound like this. So yeah, and then obviously you can hear the vocals there, but we'll get to those later. The next thing I added here was a Serum bass, and this is a Reese bass, and it has some kickstart and some saturation on it. It sounds like this. I love that bass. Super powerful, gritty. A little bit of grit, not crazy gritty, but. So the next thing I added was this little arpeggiator here, also from Serum. So this is pretty much buried in the background throughout the whole track. It's kind of hard to hear, but it adds some nice texture. What's left for melodic parts really is just this pad that comes on the second half of the chorus, which sounds like this. And then at the very end of the track, we have this really light ARP that plays that's just different, and it's nowhere else, but it's on the outro, and it adds just a little bit of a different feel, and I added it like last second, so it was pretty cool. Okay, so let's move on to the drums. So the first thing that starts with here is this very faint loop in the background. It's a full house drum loop, but it just adds a little bit of texture on top of my previous drum loop, and it sounds like this. Very simple, and it's pretty much buried in the background. After you have that as a basis, I have this 4 to the floor kick pattern with no variation. It's just straight 4 to the floor. Next part I have is this hi-hat, which has some variations at the ends of the bars here. You have like some rolls, but it's pretty simple. It has some velocity variation. Besides that, pretty simple. Next piece I have is a clap. And then I have a couple extra bongos down here. And then just a shaker to hold it all together like this. So besides that, that's pretty much most of the track, besides a couple small melodic element changes throughout here. So the next piece would be here on the verse, there is a pitch down version of the main piano melody. And then the final piece melodically that I have here is this really cool nostalgic sounding lead that I made. And this was the icing on the cake for me that really took this beat from like pretty basic house beat to like this really nice feeling track. So this is the lead. I love that. I love that so much. It's so cool. Okay, so the final piece of the track here that really made this stand out was Wes's vocal on here. And we kind of designed the vocal around it being super unique and different. And he's pretty much mumbling into the microphone, but because of the effects we put on it, it gives it this crazy texture. And I'm going to show you how I did that right here. Okay, so on the lead vocal, we have some pretty basic effects here, EQ, compression, and then where it gets interesting is where we add this vocal bender by Waves and then a harmony by Waves. And these two together, stacked on top of each other, make some crazy sounds. So by itself, it sounds like this.
I feel your heartbeat, you got me close.
And then you add this pitch shifter that pitch it up an octave, and because of how this pitch shifter works, it makes it really like crunchy, and then a harmonizer on top of that, and it made this really weird unique sound that I don't even know how he came up with it, but it just happened. And then a kickstart to give it the pumping effect.
I feel your heartbeat, you got me close. I don't know what to do, not anymore.
And then we have some background vocals as well that just have some basic effects and some reverb on it, but no pitch shifting or harmony on the backgrounds. And then on top of that, I added a bunch of sweeps and risers and beeping sounds and random things and loops and a ton of automation. And then on the second half of the second chorus, there's some extra percussion I think I had here. But besides that, that's pretty much the whole track. I'm just going to play this second half, though, because this is so cool. So besides those pieces there, that's pretty much the whole track. I did some mixing and then obviously mastered it, and we released it within a few weeks of making it because it just was so easy to put together. So yeah, that's the song. If you want to stream it, it's on all platforms, and you can go listen to it for yourself. That's pretty much it. Let me know if you want me to make another video kind of like this. Ask me anything in the comments if you want. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys later.